with coverage you can count on.
One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
She's not out here.
Thanks so much. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, do you have your mic on yet?
Yes, I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
With coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11 in HD.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover. Cindy's off tonight. The Hamilton County School Board is learning what safety improvements Durham School Services has made to school buses since the deadly Woodmore bus crash. And they are debating whether Durham's contract will be renewed or not. They would cut ties with them altogether. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Kelly McCarthy was at the work session tonight. She joins us now to bring us details. Kelly.
Greg, Durham's contract is up in June, and some school board members have concerns with renewing it. But as they've learned tonight, they might not have a choice. Board members listened on as Assistant Superintendent Lee McDade listed off more than a dozen changes Durham says it's made since the deadly school bus crash.
They completed onboard video reviews of all drivers. They now have cameras focused on their drivers as well as the other 3 cameras that were already on board all buses.
Durham is paying for 30 extra bus monitors to ride along the most difficult routes and rechecked driver's licenses and background checks for all of its part-time drivers.
They've agreed to pay for any and all hospital bills. They're paying for all counseling and support. They donated $50,000 to the Woodmore United Way Fund.
But even with all of these improvements, many school board members are hesitant to give the school bus company another chance.
I got a problem with extending Durham.
The board discussed other options, such as looking into independent contractors who would drive their own buses. Some say those drivers would be more reliable.
If I did not know the Durham driver and I did not know the contract driver, I would 10 to 1 go with my grandchildren riding with contract driver.
McDade told the school board there's not enough time to write up a new RFP or request for proposal to hire a new company. That process takes up to a year, leaving the school board with little choice but to consider extending Durham's contract for another 12 months.
From my perspective, this ain't gonna happen again. It's not gonna happen that I'm sitting up here on a board representing a district, and in front of my whole community, I look like a boob because I got people telling me I can't put an RFP out because the window's too tight.
The school board also talked with the superintendent's search firm on what they would like to see in a new school leader. Members acknowledged a list of challenges the new superintendent will be facing, such as lawsuits, underperforming schools, and municipalities threatening to break away from the school district. Board member Tiffany Robinson told the search firm she would like to see a leader with experience.
I just think that in order for this person to be successful, it's going to have to be someone who has actually been in this type of role before, and it's not basically their first rodeo.
There was no vote at this meeting on any of these topics. The school board will meet again for another work session January 12th. I'm Kelly McCarthy, live in the studio, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you. New tonight, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has released the name of the suspect killed after an officer-involved shooting in Marion County. Officials say 59-year-old William Berner died after a crash on Highway 134 last night. Marion County deputies say they fired shots at him as he sped toward them in a pickup truck. Bernard's truck kept moving for a short distance before the crash. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Unclear if he died from injuries sustained in the crash or from the gunshot wounds. His death remains under investigation. 3 people are being charged with first-degree murder in the death of an 18-year-old that happened during a home invasion in Cleveland. 18-year-olds Nathan Bean and Derek Brown and 22-year-old Jackie Ingram are all charged in the death of one of their accomplices. Police say the 3 men and Adam Johnson broke into a home at the Springbrook Apartments earlier this month, and a person who lived there fatally shot Johnson. Although the 3 suspects did not pull the trigger, Tennessee law says committing a violent crime against someone makes co-defendants responsible for that crime.
In this case, it is believed that Adam Johnson, Nathan Bean, Jackie Ingram, and Derek Brown were suspects committed to committing a violent crime at the apartment.
Brown and Ingram were arraigned in court this morning. Their hearing date's been set for January 5th. Bean was a minor at the time of the crime. He's expected to appear in juvenile court at a later date. Cleveland police say they are still reviewing evidence and searching for another person in connection with the crime. If you have any information, call the Cleveland Police Department. Fort Oglethorpe police need your help finding 2 men involved in an armed robbery. Police say Michael King and Peyton Gunter were involved in that robbery Tuesday, and they fled the scene in a black Infiniti. If you have any information regarding where they can be found, call Fort O Police. They are to be considered armed and dangerous. Several law enforcement agencies spent the day searching for a man who disappeared 3 weeks ago. 23-year-old Bradley Powell disappeared on December 7th. Today, search crews combed through the woods in Marion County and searched near Suck Creek at the boat ramp. The investigators could not go into detail about why those areas are important, but they say several leads from multiple sources guided them there. Investigators believe there are suspicious elements to this case.
He normally contacts his family, and he hasn't since December the 7th, so that's concerning to them and us.
Not clear if anything significant was found today. Police are still calling this a missing persons case. If you have any information on the disappearance of Bradley Powell, give police a call. In Crime Stoppers today, murder remains unsolved after more than a year because this crime could involve gangs. Crime Stoppers is the best way to collect information that could bring justice. We go back to September 29th, 2015. Officers were called to Rosemont Drive on Missionary Ridge, just above the Brainerd tunnels. 19-year-old Kevin Albert Jr. was found dead. A recent Brainerd High School student had come home from college trying to get his life in order, but his history as a gang member may have led to his death. There are only a few clues. Police say 2 young black males could have been involved, and their vehicle may have been a car with a blue light surrounding the license plate. If you know anything and you're interested in up to $1,000 reward cash, call 698-3333. We will never ask your name. Hollywood legend Debbie Reynolds has died just 1 day after her daughter, Carrie Fisher, passed away. Law enforcement sources tell NBC News Reynolds was at her son's home in Beverly Hills when someone called 911 to report a possible stroke. She was rushed to a Los Angeles hospital where she later died. Reynolds was known for a host of film roles, including the classic Singin' in the Rain. In just a bit, more on her shocking death and how people around the world and right here in the Tennessee Valley are paying tribute to her daughter, Carrie Fisher. 11:07, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Paul Barris because we had some heavy bands of showers move through, Paul.
Yes, we did. Some pretty good showers moving by. This is what it looks like right now. Heaviest showers right along the Georgia border, not too far from Fort Oglethorpe, pushing off towards East Ridge and Ringgold, and then some more showers all the way out to Cleveland. This stuff is not too heavy. The little thing right here, just not too far south of I-24, is pretty intense, but it's very, very small. We pull back and put this into motion. These showers, again, moving almost straight to the east. There's more thunderstorms out to Scottsboro to Huntsville, and they're going to be moving through over North Georgia, especially coming up over the next few hours or so. This stuff is just going to last tonight. By tomorrow, it'll be all over with, and it's the sun should be coming back out. Some pretty good thunderstorms all the way into northwest Alabama, too. That'll be sweeping across North Georgia. So far, Georgia hasn't gotten that much rain. Most of it's been in Tennessee and Alabama. You know, winds are out of the south at 7. It's 55 right now in the city, 52 Dalton, 58 in Cleveland, 48 Athens and 46 near Murphy, while it's almost 60 degrees. Fort Payne, 59. 57 the high, 35 the overnight low. So far at the airport, just a trace of rain. And 59 in Dalton, 58 Lafayette to 61 in Scottsboro, Trenton, and Fort Payne. 64 at Mountain for highs today. Then we get to where the rain's falling. Cleveland about a half inch, 2/10 Lakeside, 3/10 so far in Red Bank. Right here at Channel 3, only a 1/10 so far. Delano's had about 2/10 of an inch of rain. 10 Mile at Spring City, 3/10, Dayton 4/10, 5/10 up near Pikeville, and about a 1/10 of an inch out near Cagle Mountain, 2/10 near Colmont and Jasper, about a 1/10 of an inch so far. Latest Vipercast shows all this rain by tomorrow morning, well to the east of us, but these winds are really going to pick up. See those arrows popping up and getting bigger? That indicates stronger winds for tomorrow and a good breeze coming out for tomorrow night and in the overnight and even into Friday morning at 7 o'clock, a pretty strong wind. And wind dies down a little bit into Friday night, and by Saturday we'll watch another swath of moisture move our way, but mainly just cloudiness on Saturday. Now Saturday night and into Sunday, we'll see some of those showers move in. This is Sunday at 7 o'clock. Another cold front moves in, sweeps in, and then more moisture flowing in from the Gulf is going to indicate more rain coming up into Sunday and maybe Monday. And tonight and then coming up into Saturday, we'll probably see a half inch to an inch of rain. That'll be good. We need that. And we'll probably get more later on in the week. Whitwell 53 with strong winds for tomorrow. And Scottsboro, you'll be near 54 with some pretty good strong winds. Tonight, though, showers and storms, winds should not be that strong. 45 for the low. And as the cooler air starts to move in, 54 will be the high. Skies will clear off, and the winds will really pick up. 15 to 20 and gusty. Tomorrow night, just a few clouds, breezy and cold, northwesterly winds to 20. And then on the 7-day forecast, still breezy on Friday and colder with 47 for the high. 30 coming up Saturday morning with 46 for the high, and clouds will be increasing Saturday. Now Saturday night and Sunday, that's when the rain moves in, and it could continue off and on through Sunday, Sunday night into Monday, and then end on Tuesday, while Wednesday right now looks dry. We'll look at some of the latest weather charts, and coming up, not this weekend, next weekend after. Looks like some very cold air is going to move in, maybe the coldest of the season.
So get ready for it.
Get ready.
And if you're a kite aficionado and can't wait until March, tomorrow and Friday may be your day.
That's right. That's
Hang
right.
on.
You'll hang on tight.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay.
Up next in Eyewitness News at 11, more on the death of Debbie Reynolds. We told you she passed away this evening, just one day after her daughter, Carrie Fisher. We'll show you how people are honoring Fisher here in Chattanooga and around the country. Stay with us. It's a plot twist that seems that it could have been ripped from the script of a Hollywood tearjerker, but it's for real. Mega movie star Debbie Reynolds has died just a day after her daughter Carrie Fisher. NBC's Chris Pallone has more.
Debbie Reynolds was the quintessential Hollywood star, appearing on stage and screen for nearly 7 decades. Now, in a twist befitting a true Hollywood tragedy, Reynolds has died at 84, while mourning the death of her also beloved daughter, Carrie Fisher. In this video from TMZ, an ambulance is seen leaving Reynolds' son's home Wednesday afternoon. She was there making funeral arrangements for her daughter. It's that song and film that made Debbie Reynolds famous back in 1952. Singing in the Rain cast the 19-year-old alongside song and dance veterans Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor in what would come to be known as the classic movie musical. The El Paso, Texas native had won the Miss Burbank beauty pageant 4 years earlier, and a talent scout in the audience quickly signed her to a contract. Often cast as the wholesome innocent, Reynolds starred in more than 20 films in the 1950s and 60s. Tammy and the Bachelor gave her a hit song.
I could be anybody.
The unsinkable Molly Brown brought an Oscar nomination.
Nothing's gonna get me down.
But as Reynolds' career soared, her personal life suffered. A high-profile marriage to singer Eddie Fisher brought 2 children, including Star Wars actress Carrie Fisher. But it ended in a bitter divorce, the first of 3 failed marriages.
I don't choose well. I don't blame anybody but myself, but I just seem to have very poor taste in men.
When movie roles diminished in the 70s, Reynolds took her talents to the stage, both on Broadway and elsewhere. For Debbie Reynolds, her homes, both on stage and on screen, made her one of Hollywood's most versatile performers. Her son Todd told NBC News Wednesday night, "She's gone to be with Carrie. She loved taking care of her, and now she's gone to be with her." Chris Pallone, NBC News.
And just hours before news of the death of Debbie Reynolds broke this evening, local folks gathered to remember the life of daughter Carrie Fisher. Fisher, of course, best remembered for her role as Princess Leia in Star Wars. So tonight, dozens met in Coolidge Park for a lightsaber vigil. The vigil was hosted by a costuming group that originally began as a Star Wars fan club. Organizers say because of their roots, it was important to honor the life of their princess.
We're extremely sad as a community for the loss of Carrie Fisher, and it's hit a lot of us really hard.
Not only here in New York City, Star Wars fans gathered at a pizzeria today to honor Fisher's iconic role as Princess Leia. The owner of Champion Pizza in Manhattan says he's a lifelong Star Wars fan. He and his staff dressed in costumes from the popular movie series, and all the fans who joined them in Star Wars attire received free pizza today. In Portland, Oregon, a donut shop's paying tribute to the late Carrie Fisher in the form of this sweet treat. Voodoo Donuts whipped up this culinary creation that honors Fisher's role as Princess Leia. It features her iconic bun hairstyle. Fisher died Tuesday. She was 60, just days after suffering a heart attack. When we come back, a rep for the TSA tweeted out photos today of things not allowed through airport security. You won't believe what some people put in their carry-on bags. Plus, just 3 days left in 2016. We'll show you some of the wild and wacky things that have happened over the last 12 months. Stay with us.
with coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11 in HD.
As Americans continue traveling home from a holiday weekend, the Transportation Security Administration is making sure we all know exactly what's allowed in carry-on bags. All day today, a TSA representative tweeted out pictures of prohibited items. Travelers tried to get through checkpoints at Newark Liberty International. Among the items confiscated by the TSA, knives, a gun, scissors, even, yes, a crossbow. This has been an intense year, to say the very least, but despite the tragedies, storms, and bitter politics, there have been some things to smile about the past 12 months. Here's NBC's Raphael Seth with a look at the wild side of 2016.
Why do we do this? Why do so many cultures start a new year by freezing their nuts? Perhaps these polar plunges gird our loins for what lies ahead. What came in 2016 was a combative election that was definitely no slam dunk. The U.S. chose a new president in a messy process, but some felt the results had a whiff of Russian influence.
You want to smell like Putin?
So what went wrong with the other campaigns?
Oh my, Bernie.
Perhaps voters just didn't feel the burn quite like this guy. I think we can safely say we're better together and that love trumps hate in the case of these Virginia goat snugglers.
It's amazing. They don't smell at all.
But I'm not sure that I'm with her. So did we really make America great again?
We have had a few injuries. I've gotten a black eye.
For that, you may need some emotional support. A job not just for dogs anymore. This man has a service goat. This woman's best friend is a turkey. And this llama's in love with a leaf blower. American athletes did do pretty well at the Summer Olympics. We might do even better if laziness was a sport. The key is not to give in to unbridled expectations and brace yourself for what's to come in 2017. Raphael Seth, NBC News.
Coming up next in sports, Tennessee running back Alvin Kamara has an NFL decision to make in the coming days. Is he ready to announce it now? Find out. All-state nods to a handful of local prep football stars as well. Find out who next in sports with Paul Shaheen.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alvin Kamara made his Tennessee debut at LP Field in 2015. Friday's Music City Bowl at LP Field may be Kamara's last game donning the Power T. Many expected him to bolt for the NFL after last season. He didn't, And as Kamara explains, his mind still isn't made up.
I still haven't really solidified, what I'm going to do next. I'm still kind of weighing my options, just trying to figure out what's the next plan, what's the next step. Right now I'm just focused on playing this game. Really, like I said, we got one more game. It's not over yet. We still got some preparation to go that we got to handle. So, I'll just attack that when he gets here.
As mentioned, Alvin, the JUCO transfer, could have left after last season with Tennessee. If his decision comes after Friday's game, don't forget we will be there in Nashville with the Vols for complete coverage. In the meantime, this Music City Bowl against Nebraska is serving as a homecoming for quite a few Tennessee Volunteers, one being offensive lineman Ja'Shawn Robertson, a Nashville native.
We just look at it as a blessing. We grew up around here, young kids, going to Titans games, sitting in the nosebleeds, waiting outside for somebody who don't want their ticket, you know what I'm saying? So just having the opportunity to be the guys on the field and have those same kids from similar backgrounds and similar situations looking at us in that way, it's a tremendous opportunity.
And here's just a friendly reminder, our two big bowl games on Friday will be covered live in the field. Georgia and TCU kick off at noon. The Liberty Bowl, Channel 3 sports reporter Jill Jelnick and Sammy Kincaid will be in Memphis for that game. And Tennessee and Nebraska kick off 3:30 in Nashville. I will be in the Music City all day Friday. Have that covered for you. Let's get you caught up on today's bowl game action. First up, Northwestern beat Pittsburgh in the Pinstripe Bowl 31-24. That was at Yankee Stadium. Next, it was the Russell Athletic Bowl. Former Georgia head coach Mark Richt leads Miami, get this, to its first bowl win in a decade. The Canes take down 16th ranked West Virginia 31-14. The late games tonight, both still in action. 19th ranked Utah right now leads Indiana 23-17 in the third quarter of the Foster Farms Bowl. Texas A&M representing the SEC trailing Kansas State 23-14 in the third quarter of the Advocare V100 Texas Bowl. Quickly, more from the SEC. Not counting the A&M game, the SEC is now 1-1 in bowl games this season. Vanderbilt lost to NC State. Mississippi State used a blocked field goal to beat the Miami of Ohio. There's two more SEC games slated for Thursday. South Carolina and South Florida play in the Birmingham Bowl at 2 p.m. Arkansas gets 22nd ranked Virginia Tech Thursday, 5 p.m. in the Belk Bowl, North Carolina. Here's a question, and I'd bet the farm you couldn't all agree on the same answer. Which team has the most annoying college football fan base? Exactly, everyone but yours, right? Well, that same question was asked in an anonymous survey to 81 high school seniors playing in the upcoming Under Armour All-American game. The results may or may not shock you. They also may offend you if you bleed Tennessee orange. A survey held by ESPN says that Tennessee's fans are the most annoying on social media. 9 of the 81 surveyed say the UT fan base was the most annoying. Only one team came close, that was Texas, because 8 of the 81 surveyed say the Longhorns take the cake. Sticking on the prep beat, the all-state teams in Tennessee are being released. Today we learned the all-state selections for both classes 3 and 4A, 7 from our backyard take home the honor. Let's start in 4A. 3 players are all-state. Central O-lineman McClendon Curtis, the big man, 6'7", 280 pounds, named All-State O-lineman. Hickson offensive lineman Brody Gregory. He had 38 pancake blocks this year. He joins the group. So does East Hamilton's Mr. Football semifinalist, kicker Jake McClure. I don't remember the last time he has missed a kick. In 3A, Sequatchie's Mr. Football finalist Hunter Davenport made All-State as a linebacker. Teammate and offensive lineman John Higgins joins him. Red Bank Jr. Jamel Davis makes All-State as defensive lineman. By the way, he had 132 tackles and 8.5 sacks this season as a junior. Yeah, junior. And last but not least, East Ridge stud of a running back, Ternell Moore, made All-State. He missed a few games early in the season, but still managed to rush for more than 1,300 yards. That's it for Sports Always More Online. We have more weather with Paul Paris on the other side of the break.
Not severe, but. All right, we got some pretty big thunderstorms popping up right now. Let's take a look at the radar. Lots of lightning with this stuff just to the west of Chattanooga, from Scottsboro all the way to just about Monteagle and Jasper, Kimball. Watch out, big thunderstorms, hail, and small hail, probably pea-sized hail could be out of some of those storms, all the way up to Dayton. So this is going to continue throughout the night. For your planner, it's going to be clearing off in the morning. It's going to be windy during the day, highs into the low to mid 50s.
Thank you, Paul. 2016 has left you feeling shredded. You're not alone, and people in Times Square return the favor today. Good Riddance Day, a time to shed, shred, sometimes smash negativity from this past year and make way for positive memories in 2017. That was the theme among many in the crowd, shedding negativity, or shredding it, or smashing it, or throwing it away.
Does it work if you throw bills in there that haven't been paid?
I think the authorities would still come looking for you. Have a good night. We'll see you later.
Alvin Kamara made his Tennessee debut at LP Field in 2015. Friday's Music City Bowl at LP Field may be Kamara's last game donning the Power T. Many expected him to bolt for the NFL after last season. He didn't, and as Kamara explains, his mind still isn't made up.
I still haven't really solidified, what I'm going to do next. I'm still kind of weighing my options, just trying to figure out what's the next plan, what's the next step. Right now I'm just focused on playing this game.